Welcome to our third podcast and our second of this new year, where we're only in the third week, and again, truth is on the back foot as the so-called leader of the so-called free world forgets what he said last week, yesterday, or just now, or basically doesn't give a drop of the good stuff about the truth.
We thought after last week and our meditation on being fearful that we would be a little more positive in our subject.
Although realistic.
If you could see our script, dear listeners, you would know that we have given truth a capital T and also put it in quote marks, which sort of indicates that it is, firstly, an important concept and also a slippery one.
Yes, it sort of comes at you sideways, doesn't it? And then pops up right in your face and slaps you before disappearing down a rabbit hole you almost tripped up by putting your foot in while running away from it.
So, I think what you're sort of saying, if you'll allow me to mix metaphors, that it's a double-edged sword.
Yes, indeed. Like the one Jonathan Aitken fell on, his own simple sword of truth, and would happily have brought his own family down with him before spending time in Belmarsh for perjury. He's not the only one. Our examples happen to be men. We are talking swords here. But hey, it's our podcast, and we are well aware that a tendency to inaccurate précis is not the province solely of chaps.
And to whom are you referring with that phrase about the précis?
Well, thank you for asking. I'm referring to Mary Archer's somewhat euphemistic description of her husband Geoffrey's inability to distinguish truth from lies, damned lies. He also kept a cell warm in Belmarsh for a bit. Same deal.
Oh dear. And English too. Belmarsh, isn't that where the WikiLeaks chap is at the Mo?
Yes, but better not. You know, it could get us into trouble. I hear he's not looking well. All right, back across the pond then, and to the slippery Trump, the architect of fake news, also its chief critic, and he's not even a liar, is he? Because that suggests someone who has the slightest concept of what truth might look like.
And what does truth look like?
Well, nowadays, according to some, there are alternative truths. So who knows?
But the truth, that's with two capital T's and not your silly lowercase alternative truths. The truth will set you free. A statement attributed to John the Baptist that has been with us in written form for nearly 2,000 years, and its meaning hotly contested. The liberation of a people from an oppressive regime, or some vague piece of wish-wash. And, of course, the statement has been played with, notably by Gloria Steinem, who claimed the truth will indeed set you free, but first it will piss you off.
Dear, dear Gloria. Is she one of us?
Oh, I do hope so. Now, she certainly told the truth about what a whole generation of women were up to, and without needing any help from men, and they certainly did not like it. They did not like it at all.
Well, to be fair, dear, not all women liked it either. The truth can be, embarrassing, to say the least. I mean, giving things a name, activities that used to be just a euphemism.
You're talking about the bicycle smile?
Yes, well, that's a euphemism for...
Yes, quite. Women masturbating.
Good grief, that's supposed to be a secret.
Yes, well, no one's listening, and if they are and they're upset by the truth, then we'll have loads of comments below the line, won't we?
Right, true dat. Reasons to be truthful. Let's get back to history as we remember it.
Well, I always remember what our good friend André Gide said. André, now, there's an interesting man. A man of letters, but also of the sword.
The sword of truth?
Ah, yes, that. But your man Andre was also a prolific duelist of the pork sword.
Really?
Just being truthful. But anyway, going back to what he actually said, trust those who seek the truth, but doubt those who say they have found it.
Yes, that's helpful for avoiding religious fanatics and conspiracy theorists. But going back a little further, circa 450 BC, we, Rose and Argon, were often enjoying the company of Herodotus and Thucydides as they grappled with the differences between eyewitness and hearsay in establishing historical record.
A lot of mansplaining, as I remember.
'Twas ever thus. But you did a great job of work on the draft.
And you were a killer convincing the both of them that if they got this right, they'd be remembered forever.
Who? Oh, yeah, all those old jokes. We mustn't forget Diana. Who?
Who? Diana, goddess of the hunt? Diana Dawes? Diana Rigg?
Diana, Princess of Wales.
Ah.
Now, she tried to tell the truth, and look where that got her. It was Charles, wasn't it, who nearly blew the whistle on the love thing. That's right. Are you in love? Oh, yes. Whatever love is.
Ah, another swordsman.
So, back to Herodotus and Thucydides. No one remembers them. They didn't plan ahead.
No, but they did have a point. There is a difference between what you know yourself to be the case because you were there, like us, and what you've been told is the case. And the written record helps.
History is written by the victors. Her story is written by committee.
And I thought you were a feminist.
I am. I'm in a desperately playful mood, trying to find reasons to be truthful.
Are not ethics sufficient guide?
Of course. We've had the best tutors on these matters over the years, but telling the truth has a price tag to it. Those who have tried to tell the truth because of what they know from eyewitness have paid it.
Ah, you mean dear Galileo, all that unpleasantness with the church about the earth revolving around the sun.
And others who haven't played by the rules.
Which are?
Oh, generally being rich and just utterly without that moral compass that gets so inconveniently in the way. You know, the rules of being a shit.
Oh, come on, you can do better than that.
Okay. The rules of the deep state.
I ask again, which are?
First rule of deep state, no one talks about deep state. Not about where cheap meat comes from, or how that face in a jar is tested on animals because you're worth it, or that half the world's population doesn't have access to toilets or clean water, that we don't have universal, effective, safe contraception for women, and keep using neonicotinoids when we know they kill the bees, that we suck up to fat baby men masquerading as leaders when we know they're insane. Do you want me to go on?
Well, you're cheery. Can we just remind our listeners that we have planned ahead and negotiated a very good deal so we can help others to be around to tell their truth?
Okay, if you put it like that, I will cheer up. Seriously, dear listeners, we don't want to sound disillusioned, but we know you are discerning, well-informed people who want, like we do, to find reasons to be truthful. We just have to be clever about it, that's all, and kind.
Indeed. No point upsetting the apple cart. Have you listened to the Archers lately?
My favourite.
Well, a lot of apple carts being upset there. The whole village in uproar about this modern slavery thing. Well, if it looks too cheap, someone's paying for it down the line. That knockdown price on a kitchen extension, that very inexpensive manicure, that little black dress so cheap you can wear it on Friday night and chuck it out on Saturday.
We'd never do anything like that. The very idea. As you know, dear listeners, our business model is quite above board. It's all perfectly transparent. And thank you so much for all the inquiries about planning ahead. We know how tight finances are at the moment, and it's heartening to feel that you've put your trust in us. Just let's be truthful. We don't look this youthful without taking something out along the line. Lifeline, feeling fine. We take a little effervescence from those who have plenty and give it to those who are needing and empty. Sort of like Robin Hood doing good with the good stuff.
That's enough.
For now. Thank you. From all of us at Ambrosia, let's look forward to a truthful 2021, even if it hurts a bit. But with us and our wonderful products, whenever anyone says you're looking well, you'll know they're telling the truth with a capital T. Great, I think that went well.
Oh, yep, but you did get a bit heavy at one point, and what's with all that slipping into rhyming verse?
Oh, sorry, it's the nights getting shorter again. It puts me in a bad mood. All that sunshine drives me to poetry.
Oh, well, just going back to what you were saying about being truthful and kind.
Yes?
Does my bum look big in this?
I don't know. I can't see you. This is a podcast.
But you would tell me, though.
Of course I would. Are you still recording?